sole purpose why I did not tell him I was pregnant. No, I couldn't tell him your brother was there. No, I'm not going to fix it because I know how you react. This is how you react. I'm not fixing to have this reaction in front of your brother when I find out I'm finally pregnant. I finally get something from you.
I couldn't call him before my baby was breached. I picked up the phone. I told my mama to talk to him. And he said on the phone that I don't have a ride up there. I can't get up there.
That was
at South
after the
Suburban.
fact.
That you looked your husband in the eye and gave him permission to sleep with your sister?
Yes, and now it's a problem. Right. She is probably about number 35 of the women that he'd been with.
Two sisters caught up in a paternity issue because Ms. Hayes claimed her sister's husband as the father of her child, and she wants a DNA test as proof. Yeah, I get that these kind of allegations can literally make us want to doubt the phrase sisters before misters, but let's see if they'll end up as sisters again, or if this squabble will tear them apart.
Hayes, you say that your sister, the defendant, claims to have a child with your husband of 10 years, and you have petitioned the court for a paternity test. And you are here to warn her that when he finds out her baby is not his today, she'll probably never hear from him again.
However, the younger sister holds a different opinion. According to her, Ms. Hayes is just envious of her and wants her to cut off from their lives. Woman, I think she should be furious as well because of this spiteful act of yours.
Ms. Hayes, you state that your sister is just jealous that you were able to have her husband's baby and she was not. You have no doubts that your sister's husband is your baby's father, and when you leave here today, you want her out of your life for good.
Yes.
Nevertheless, Ms. Michelle threw some light on the background saga of this malicious relationship. She told the court that she found them in the bed doing some nasty things. That would have been surely mortifying.
I came home and found him and her in our bed naked, and I just, I can't believe it after everything I've done for her. I knew that they were sleeping together, but to put it in my face and be in my bed and me walk in and catch them naked, why would it be any different? She slept with my first husband and my second husband. And I didn't even know about my second husband until my dad told me.
Around each of them in the same predicament.
However, have you ever seen someone knock out the person who saved your life and did everything best for you? Well, here you will see the even worse of that. How could she do that to her own sister like this?
So the court can clarify, this was your younger sister?
Yes. I've had custody of this girl since she was 11. The choices that she made between our dad and her mom led her into drugs, prostitution, everything else. The latest time that I rescued you, I helped you get clean.
Yes, Your Honor,
I went
she
to
did.
Chicago after not hearing from her for 7.
But baby mama had sob storylines. In her words, the things she went through that was pretty painful to her. But whatever she did to her sibling doesn't support her. I mean, cheating on your sister with her husband isn't something that can be justified anyway.
I lost control of my life, myself, my morals, everything. And when I got clean,
every time you picked up a phone
when I got clean, I had been an addict and homeless for 15 years.
It wasn't your mom.
And I didn't know how to be respectful. I didn't know how to be a woman.
No, wait, what? Ms. Michelle asked her husband to cheat on her, but Ms. Shane would have stopped this nasty thing right away, but she didn't. So why did the plaintiff brag about this matter to the court when she herself cut her hands off?
That mean that you looked your husband in the eye and gave him permission to sleep with your sister?
Yes. Well, I had been with him for 10 years. Right. She is probably about number 35.
Even though the testimony was nasty, this wasn't enough. On procession, things kept getting worse. When FYI Ms. Hayes called strippers over to her house for her husband, man, can't you get enough of this?
They also had an open relationship where Michelle has invited people, like on Corey's birthday, invited other women over to be a part of that.
There was.
They had an open relationship like that.
It wasn't an open relationship. There was a stripper that came to the house.
Future, the elder sisters claimed that her husband, he is infertile and cannot produce a child. In this all drama, the only thing that made them related is their siblings' rivalry.
Is the reason why you think he's not the father of your sister's child because you think he's not able to have children?
Yes. She told him she's got more than he does, that he's not a man.
I do.
Wow. What I want to impress upon you ladies as you argue like sisters is that really it's not about you.
Look at my baby.
It's about that beautiful little baby.
However, the sisters' drama wasn't helping in the testimony. So, Judge Lauren decided to hear from Mr. Hill, and this is how he testified about his doubts regarding being a father.
So, there are questions that you may not be this beautiful little girl's father. Now, are you also in question about that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not gonna lie, deep down inside, I do have some doubts, and that is because of, I've been through this situation twice before.
How could he get caught up in so much work that he couldn't even manage to find time to sign a birth certificate? That was surely a very lame excuse, because if you desire it, you make it.
Are you on the birth certificate?
Unfortunately, no, I'm not.
No, he wouldn't sign it.
He had to go to
That's
work.
not the case, ma'am.
He wouldn't. He was at the hospital every day and could have signed it at any time. It didn't have to be that particular day at that particular
Why
time.
didn't
That's
you
not
sign the
true.
birth certificate?
I had to be to work within an hour. They came down for her to sign the papers. By the time they would go up and get the papers for me to sign, I would have already been at work.
Plaintiff asserted that he never got any woman impregnated before. Then how come to her sister conceived the baby by her husband? However, the flagrant statement that baby daddy gave will blow your mind.
You also stated to the court, Ms. Hayes, that in all the years that you were together with Mr. Hill, he never got you pregnant.
No, and the
Okay.
other 25 women that he carried on with for long-term relationships.
No, you just jealous of us and you want to take the baby. That's what that is.
I don't want your baby. I don't
Okay.
want Kayla.
I didn't say you wanted to have the baby. I said you wanted to have the baby taken from us.
Huh? Even after being married to someone else, she is not letting them have their life? Woman, move on. Use your mind. I mean, who justifies bad decisions like this?
So
I'm married to somebody
isn't-
else,
So
and-
now you're
And you
married to
were welcome
someone
to
else.
divorce him. No, just because? Just because. That's great. That's
Wait.
an upstanding deal.
You're married to somebody else, but you haven't divorced him?
Right.
That doesn't
Seems
sound
like everybody's
legal.
up to something, huh?
Some words of advice and encouragement needed to be articulated for them, and Judge Lauren honored it. I hope they get these words in their minds for the sake of a little baby girl.
Because I looked at a beautiful little girl on this screen, and all I can think is she deserves more than this.
She deserves family. She shouldn't just have to be around them two.
This court is concerned with the best interest of this child.
Their to and fro statements and allegations were all over, and it was getting nowhere. So let's get those results for the baby and see if it will settle the dispute between them or not.
When it comes to 10-month-old Kayla, Mr. Hill, you are her father.
Elementary school sweethearts are presiding over their case in the paternity court when Ms. Rogers accused Mr. Stone, the father of her child. However, defendant denied her claims and stated it was nothing but just a casual fling. I want to tell this young boy a fling can surely produce a baby.
Ms. Rogers, you say after an encounter with your elementary school sweetheart, you ended up pregnant. You say the defendant has gone through great lengths to deny he is the father of your son, Christian. Mr. Stone, you say Ms. Rogers is promiscuous and it was only a casual fling.
The trial begins on the relationship recap. It turned out they met at the party and then ended up being intimate with each other, and it was labeled as just a fling. Can anybody please tell me if the one lasts for a month or more?
I met him in elementary school. We was friends. I kind of moved away after a while. We was close friends, but you know, we never kept in touch because we were so young. And one day, after some years of being apart, I was at my friend's house, or I was at her boyfriend's house, and we were chilling, and he walked through the door, and I'm like, really? Of all places, he had to walk into where I'm at.
However, defendant told the opposite story. It was revealed they had been intimate several times. I want to know, what is the point of denying paternity of that little baby boy?
Your Honor, when I walked in, we caught eyes. She was on his lap, and
I was not on his lap.
we ended up talking.
He
We
could make
separated
you
from
believe
each
I
other.
was not.
One at a time.
We separated from everybody. We started talking. Yes, we ended up leaving from one of my friend's house, went to her friend's house. We did have sex, but we had a condom on.
No.
When we left that house, we went home, went to my house. We had a condom on.
What is this happening? Intimate with girlfriend and sweetheart at the same time. What's wrong with these people? Why do such nasty things? If Shameless had a face, it would be this guy for sure.
Every time.
Did you have unprotected sex
One time,
with
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Stone?
It was not one time.
And that was in the threesome.
It was not one time. It was
In
not
the
one time.
where?
And the threesome between me, her, and
So you didn't use protection in a threesome with Ms. Rogers and another.
the other girl was my girlfriend.
A series of accusations is being dragged into the court, and to stop them, Judge Lauren hopped into the pregnancy part. It turned out the defendant and plaintiff told the same story with two different perspectives like this, one alleging and the other denying.
Not once.
When he-
What happened was, this particular day, I was in the car with one of my friends. They pulled up on me, and he said he had to go pick his girl up and her, which is her best friend. We get to them, we drop them them off at the hospital. Imagine, I don't know what we doing. She haven't said nothing. Imagine, we did drop her off at the hospital.
Anyway, baby mama brought a conception calendar to support her claims, and her testimony asserted that no matter wherever you see, Mr. Stone would be the potential father of her baby.
It shows you when my baby was conceived, no matter where you want to put it at, and when he was born.
This is a calendar that states that baby Christian was born on August 25th.
I went over my due date because Christian was a very big baby, and my body wasn't trying to get him to come out.
Definitely ain't hear about that one either.
Even so, he admitted that he was intimate with her during the window of conception. He continued to deny the paternity of the baby, but the plaintiff didn't let him play and provide the evidence of him admitting the baby as his baby.
Deep down inside, I don't think it's my child at all.
This is the first time he's saying this. Let me tell you something. When me and him talk, this is his baby, okay? This is
Really?
baby. He says my baby. He does not say the baby. He says my baby. I have text messages of him saying,
Baby got forced up beyond.
I'd like to see those.
In spite of this drama, they didn't agree on one point, and arguments were all over. It's time to turn off this annoying drama. Let's get those results to see if Bobby Mama got what she came for.
The case of Rogers versus Stone. When it comes to 7-month-old Christian Rogers, Mr. Stone, you are not the father.
Told you I don't got lying about nothing. I know what I did. I paid for extra.
Denying paternity to have a single life is spite low. Ms. McIntyre and her mother hauled Mr. Wilson to court to prove that he is the father of her child. However, the alleged baby daddy opposed the claims, and they both want a DNA test to resolve this conflict. Let's move to plaintiffs.
Ms. McIntyre, you and your mother stand before me claiming that you are 100% certain that Mr. Wilson is your 3-year-old son, Jashawn's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct.
You say the only reason he has doubt is because he wants to live a single life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The trial commenced with the relationship recap. It turned out that Mr. Wilson catfished baby mama on Facebook, and what she saw and what she got was totally the opposite.
We was talking on Facebook. He shared a couple of pictures with me. He shared a picture like this. I thought he was very cute. He said he was gonna take care of me and my daughter.
On Facebook, he was already gonna take care of you and your daughter?
Yeah, he sold me a dream.
You had never met?
No, we never met before.
Okay.
So we finally wanted to meet up. Yes, he catfished me.
And when Judge Lauren asked about the paternity issue, he said that he is not denying the child, but baby mama is promiscuous, and she had several guys who she was dating.
I want to be honest. I'm not here to say I'm denying my kid, but at the same time too, Miss McIntyre, yeah, kind of ratchet at the same time.
When you say kind of ratchet, are you indicating or inferring that she sleeps around?
Yes, Sean.
I don't believe that he's saying that.
Up next, the recap of the baby's birthday brought some drama and lame excuses from the defendant. At first, he said that Ms. McIntyre didn't tell him, and then it turned out that he gave her a lame excuse for not coming like this.
Did you tell Mr. Wilson?
Nope. Nope, not until after the fact. They claim that they didn't have no way.
Are you serious?
They claimed they didn't have no way of getting in contact with me. They called me after the fact he was conceived. I wasn't at the hospital.
No, he was not at the hospital because
none of that.
he
Just like I don't like
didn't have
her,
a
so
ride.
she
That
told
was
me
his
that.
excuse.
Next came up the conception calendar by the defendant. Baby daddy asserted that he was going around the circle, but baby mama went ghost. She was nowhere to be found, and he didn't hear from her in months.
January, I totally disagree with this because we kind of didn't really start making it happen like that till like way after my birthday, which is on March 22nd.
Okay.
Okay, but since she said she was on January, we gonna fall with that, all right? So, boom, she was gone May. Let's put it right there, ghost. Didn't know where to find Teresa. I'm hearing her line, not getting no texts.
After listening to enough arguments and testimony, Judge Lauren decided to read the DNA test results. Let's get those results and see what the envelope is hiding in it.
When it comes to 3-year-old Jashawn McIntyre, Mr. Wilson, you are his father.
Told you. Told
That's all I needed to know.
You may not achieve perfection, but it's important to see perspective.
To substantiate her claim of paternity, Ms. Lockridge brought Mr. Tidwell to court because he has been refusing to be her child's father. However, the alleged baby daddy stated that he was never serious toward baby mama and her pregnancy news shook him. Let's move to the plaintiff's points.
Ms. Lockridge, you've dragged the defendant, Mr. Tidwell, to court because he has refused to acknowledge child, your 10-month-old son, King. You are 100% sure he's the father and claim today's results will prove your case. Mr. Tidwell, you say you were never in a serious relationship with Ms. Lockridge and when she told you she was pregnant. The timing leads you to suspect that baby King's father must be another man.
At the beginning of the trial, it was revealed that despite the denial of paternity, he named the baby. I mean, if he is so certain that he is not the father, then why did he name the baby?
Named him King, Mr. Tidwell?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you don't have a relationship with him?
Nope, because, Your Honor, I think she's more wants me to be the dad than she really believes I'm the dad. She's obsessed with me, and she's done a lot of different things to make me feel like I'm not the father. She's left town. She's left me with the baby for weeks.
It was not a week.
She hasn't communicated with me. She has other men around.
But you named the child.
She gave me the right to do that.
Even so, Mr. Tidwell said that their relationship was nothing. But how can their relationship mean nothing after spending all these years together? I mean, he didn't have feelings for her even after spending so much time with her. That's strange.
There was no relationship.
Just, what, casual sex?
Yes.
We were on and off for 6 years. We were together for my understanding, how he led me to believe I was single or I was with him in a committed relationship.
However, the drama kept escalating with all the allegations of cheating put on each other by both. Baby daddy accused mommy of sleeping with another guy when the baby was conceived.
She has another guy that she was sleeping with.
During the time that you were having sex with Ms. Lockridge, were you aware of anyone else she was involved with sexually?
Not personally, but we weren't.
There was nobody else.
Up next, Judge Lauren jumped into the pregnancy news. It turned out he got to know from a piece of paper. Well, yes, a piece of paper can cause major conflict like this if that is a paper on pregnancy test reports.
And so how did you find out she was pregnant?
She came over to my house. We hung out. The next day, I see a piece of paper on my bed. I grab it, I looked at it. It was a note with an ultrasound in it.
What did the note say?
I'm not sure the exact words of the note, but it said that she didn't know how to tell me this, and she's sorry she had to tell me like that.
But such behavior shows a complete lack of respect and empathy towards people. I think it's just, if you can't step up to the plate, you shouldn't be doing the things that make a baby.
You hear he got another girl pregnant,
Yep.
and then it made you excited to be pregnant?
No, when I found out I was pregnant, I was excited because I was gonna have his baby.
Because you loved him.
I love him. I have a lot of love for him, but am I in love with him? No, because he doesn't treat me the way. I'm not obsessed with you. If I was obsessed with you, there wouldn't be nobody else.
What? He wasn't even there for the baby's birth. That's such ignorant and irresponsible behavior. He gave such a lame excuse to defend himself like this.
When I had my son, I was in labor for 36 hours, completely by myself, to the point where the nurse that was with me, she had to call the doctor and ask the doctor if she could stay with me because I was by myself.
Okay, so he is so certain because he has seen another guy in the picture. He claimed that she came with that guy and took the baby from him and left.
I said, did you want to spend time with your son? Because I'm fixing to go take a modeling shoot in Nevada.
No,
She
just
dropped the baby
off. She came to visit
didn't.
and brought him to visit. While she was visiting, she decided to leave.
And if you think this is too much, let's move to the results and watch what the results envelope is holding in it. Will it save the day for the baby, or baby mama will have to do some research?
Mr. Tidwell, you are not his father.
Are you kidding me?
I messed up, man.
I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
From the bottom of my broken heart, Wallace Tidwell, I'm sorry.
Real drama unfolds when Ms. Daniel is pointing fingers at Mr. Lennon, claiming he bamboozled her into having his baby and then vanished into thin air. But the defendant pinned all over the allegations and claimed something else. That's an intriguing episode.
Ms. McDaniel, you say you were tricked into having a baby by the defendant, Mr. Lennon, but once you got pregnant, he ditched you and immediately denied he fathered your baby. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Lennon, you say the plaintiff is nothing but a promiscuous gold digger and there is no way you're her son's biological father.
The alleged baby daddy apparently had quite the plan to start a family with the plaintiff, only to disappear once he had accomplished his mission of getting her pregnant. One can only wonder what motivated such a selfless act of fatherhood.
So he was the one to plant to have me pregnant, Your Honor.
He wanted a baby?
Yes.
Tell me.
He told me that he wanted to have a child, which was biologically his, because he have two that's not his.
The defendant has a rather peculiar explanation to offer. He claimed that he and Ms. McDaniel bumped into each other on site and ended up in a sexual relationship, and he was only interested in her lifestyle. But if he had no ulterior motives, then why engage in any sort of relationship in the first place?
You know, Your Honor, that's not true.
Well, the simple fact is, when I met her off of a site. And from me meeting her from a site, I wanted to see what kind of person she is and see if she wanted to have a life.
He also wanted to have sex with me, Your Honor.
He
He asked me for my number on the site that he met me off of. That is correct about that, but he wanted to have a baby also.
Your Honor, I had a 2-year-old child that passed in my life, and that kind of hurt.
However, the alleged father's story is quite a spectacle. Apparently, he was tricked twice by different women into believing that he was the biological father of their children. So, if this is truly the case, it would be prudent for him to obtain DNA results.
I told her about my past or what happened and how I was hurt 2 times off of a blood test.
My sister
and I'm not going through that mess again.
So you've had paternity issues in the past,
yes,
paternity
Your Honor,
situations,
yes,
and you
Your
say
Honor.
on 2 different occasions the child turned out not to be yours?
After he done stopped.
And Judge Lauren asked the witness to share more information about this paternity issue. She testified that Mr. Lennon accepted the baby at first and promised to take care of him. But now he is not only denying paternity, but everything. Such behavior from the defendant seems to be the ultimate betrayal.
He came and picked her up, and she stayed for about like 2 weeks.
And so that automatically makes him the father?
Yeah, I even had a conversation with Mr. Lerner.
And what did he say?
About he was gonna take care of her.
No, Your Honor, I did not say that.
Take care of the baby.
Say that
He
to
was
that
gonna
woman.
put her and the
No,
baby
I did not say
in
that.
a
No, the only time I
house.
talked to your sister is when she was in the hospital, and that's when I was introduced to her.
Next came the conception calendar from baby mama. It was revealed that they had shared an intimate relationship in the time frame when the baby was conceived, but daddy was persistent in his denial game. Let's hope it will make some sense.
This calendar outlined the time that I spent with Mr. Leonard.
Okay. You spent a week with Mr. Lennon in June.
Yes.
In July, the doctor said you were 4 weeks and 5 days pregnant. That was during the window of the time you say you were sleeping with Mr. Lennon.
I was with Mr. Lennon the whole time.
You were at his house?
At his house.
We did not have sex every
Constantly being intimate with each other.
Not every day.
The bump and go had taken a toll on the plaintiffs' lives, so Judge Lauren decided to skip the drama of the plaintiffs and cut straight to the chase by reading the DNA test results. Who needs suspense when you can just rip open an envelope and reveal the truth?
When it comes to 1-month-old Kimari McDaniel, Mr. Lennon, you are not the father.
That's right.
Like I told you. Like I told you. I told you. I told you.
Oh.